Hey y'all, pretty cool product here from CamoFX. This here's the Realtree APG HD. Saw this a few weeks ago and wanted to try it, so I bought a couple of them. This one here, like I said, is the Realtree APG HD. Comes in 3 colors. It's a little bit smaller than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the size of a regular deodorant stick, just because, you know, looking at the pictures they have on their website and in magazines, but it is a little bit smaller than I thought. It rolls up, as you see. It's a pretty neat little item here. I like it. The one thing, as you're putting it on, you know, they recommend smooth brush strokes. You will get some, you know, sometimes the dark colors will cover the lighter colors and it'll kind of start blending in after a while. It's pretty simple. Just wipe it off with or wipe it onto a paper towel to clear the mixed colors up. It's really good for maybe 5, 6, 7 uses, depending on how thick you put it on. If you put it on a little bit thinner, you might even get more. I guess I've always had a problem with over applying. Now, the one drawback to this is that with a standard compact, like what I used in the Marines, you have a little bit more control because you do one color at a time. With this, it's kind of all 3 colors, and you do have a little bit of control. As you know, if you want it more brown or more green, I guess you could tip that more in that direction. But you know, you kind of want to get the areas of your face that protrude a little bit more. You want to get those areas a little bit darker, like your nose and your cheeks. I've always had this big schnoz I got to cover up, so you want that to be a little bit darker to help it blend in a little bit more. Overall, I really like this product. I think it's pretty cool. It's simple to apply. It comes in one thing, and you don't have to get your hands all covered in camo putting it on. I have traditionally not used camo face paint hunting. I did used to use a lot of it in the Marines when I was in the infantry mostly. I was actually kind of like camming up. So it's a good product. I would definitely recommend trying it. The thing to keep in mind about camo is the idea is to break up your outline, not to necessarily make it look all pretty. As you're doing it, as you see, you know, areas you might or might not have missed, you can always, you know, dab it. I think I'm doing. Try to get the areas that are raised up a little bit. You definitely want to get those a little bit darker, and you can tip it. Use the, you know, the brown side for the raised areas. So here we go, is the finished product. You can play with it, you know, you can do longer streaks if you wanted, do the short dabs like what I did. I see a couple areas I probably need to highlight, but as I said, you know, with camo it's important to remember the idea is to break up your outline, not necessarily look pretty. So it might not necessarily look like a Hollywood camo job, but you know, it's definitely going to break up the outline. I think it went on pretty easy. It only took about maybe 30 to 60 seconds to put it on. And one thing I found, just as I'm doing this video, I've had to reapply a couple times just to get it right, because the first time I messed up colors, did stuff I didn't really like as I got used to the product, and so I had to remove it several times. What I found out worked best, the first couple times I used a paper towel and then took wet wipes to wipe it down afterwards. I found out it's actually much more efficient to use a rag, and as you see, I've used it a couple times here already, getting this camo off. You want it mostly dry, but you know, just a slight bit damp, and the camo actually comes off really easy doing that. And once again, I've found it's more difficult for me to do this in the camera lens than it is in an actual mirror. But as you can see, I mean, it comes off pretty easy. As I've said before, I don't know if it comes off any easier per se than some of the other camo I've used in the past that just comes in like a compact. It does come off easier than the government camo, and I don't know if any of y'all ever used that. It's from like the Vietnam era, but they still had it when I was in, and stuff came in a tube. You push up, and it was a hard tube, a metal tube, and it said camo on it, and came in two colors, one on each end of the tube. Flip it around, and that stuff was horrible. It's actually hard to put on. It used to rip off more skin than it did put on color, unless, best thing to do is to kind of rub it in your palm of your hand to get it moistened up a little bit. That stuff was not the easiest to put on. But if you're expecting, like, you know, on the packaging it says easy off, and if you're expecting some like miracle stuff that, you know, comes off like super easy and there's absolutely zero residue, it's not quite that good. Okay. If you've ever used face paint, it's, as far as ease of removal, it's about the same as the other stuff. The main thing I would recommend is to just keep it out of your hair, which includes, you know, on the sides here, and some of you might have more hair than I do because mine's receding, but especially the eyebrows, because those are the two areas there that really darken up and are hard to get the stuff out of. So, and I think really the only way to probably truly get it all off is showering afterwards. So, alright, this is it. This is the CamoFX. This is the Realtree APG HD.